Walter Tull is a key figure in the history of football. The halfback was one of the first mixed-race players to play in English football, and the first player of African descent to sign for Rangers. His life would tragically be lost in the Great War, but his legacy as a pioneer for BAME footballers remains to this day. This is a story of Walter Tull, Lieutenant, Leader, Pioneer. Walter Daniel John Tull was born in Folkestone, Kent, on the 28th of April 1888. His father was a Barbadian carpenter, and his grandmother had been a slave in Barbados. Walter's mother died of cancer when he was 7 years old, and his father died from heart disease 2 years later. He was sent to an orphanage with his brother Edward in Bethnal Green as a result. Despite the prejudice in place at the time, the orphanage embraced Walter and noted his love of football, encouraging him to pursue it. Edward was adopted by a family in Glasgow and moved to Scotland, going on to become the first mixed-race practicing dentist in the UK. Upon leaving school, Walter became an apprentice in the printing press and would sign for amateur side Clapton. In his time at Clapton, some say he was never on a losing team, and he won a treble of the FA Amateur Cup, London County Amateur Cup and London Senior Cup. He was described by the Football Star as the catch of the season. His performances did not go unnoticed, and he would be signed by Tottenham Hotspur in 1909. On the 1st of September that year, he stepped out onto the field for them in a game away to Sunderland to become the first black outfield player in the Football League. Sadly, he would have to face intense prejudice. A game away at Bristol City saw him hounded with racial abuse from the spectators, but a local reporter remarked how Tull remained calm and composed, and his professionalism was an example to white footballers across the country. Soon after this, Tull would lose his spot in the side, considered not fast enough for the top level. He was purchased by Northampton Town in 1911 for what was described as a substantial fee, and he would be managed there by the legendary future Arsenal and Huddersfield Town manager Herbert Chapman. He spent 4 years at Northampton, making 111 appearances for the club, once scoring 4 goals in one game. His life, though, was about to take a huge twist. The outbreak of World War I saw young men across the country encouraged to enlist in the army, and Walter Tull was the first Northampton player to enlist. He served in battalions made up of footballers, and impressed on the battlefield just as much as he had on the football pitch. He rose to the ranks to become a Lance Sergeant, fighting in the Battle of the Somme in 1916. He would return home to train as an officer, and whilst rules stated only white British-born people could become officers at the time, Tull was granted special discretion to become an officer. Whilst back in the United Kingdom, he had a brief spell with Rangers. He fought on the Italian front as an officer in 1917, and was praised for leading 26 men on a night raid across the Piave River and returning with all of them unharmed, despite the enemy fire. In 1918, though, he would face his final battle. With defeat staring them in the face, the German army were going all out in a desperate attempt to win the war, in what was described as the Spring Offensive. On the 21st of March 1918, around 6,000 German guns were estimated to have fired around 3.5 million explosive shells on British troops, and the British and French would lose 250,000 troops overall over the course of the offensive over the next few months. On the 25th of March 1918, Walter Tull was killed in France during the Battle of the Bapaume after being fatally shot by enemy troops. It is said that Private Tom Billingham, a former Leicester goalkeeper, had attempted to bring back Tull's body to the British position, but he was unsuccessful. Walter Tull's body was never recovered. He died at the age of just 29. Many have worked tirelessly to preserve the name of Walter Tull. Attempts have been made to posthumously award him a military cross, and many memorials have been put up to him, with a road behind Northampton's Sixfield Stadium bearing his name, and a statue of him was erected at the Northampton Guildhall in 2017. 2 of his former clubs, Rangers and Tottenham, have also contested the Walter Tull Trophy in his honour. Walter Tull was an inspiration, and it is clear to see, over 100 years on from his passing, just how admired he is. Footballers such as Garth Crooks and Danny Rose have spoken of the legacy Tull left on the game, as Walter Tull was a man who broke down barriers. At a time of incredibly strong discrimination, he showed that black people were just as capable as white people, and overcame seemingly impossible hurdles that were in his way to not just become a highly respected footballer, but a highly respected soldier too. He gave his life for his country and helps football become a game for everyone, and for that, Walter Tull is nothing short of a legend. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on the AFC Finners channel. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please have a look at the channel down below and check out the hundreds of videos available. If you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, you can do so in the link below for as little as £1 a month. Please let me know what you thought of this video and what topic you'd like me to cover next. See you next time.